All right, sit yourself down, and let's have a proper chat about one of English history's biggest cover-ups. Forget what your dusty schoolbooks told you, Francis Bacon weren't just some clever lawyer or philosopher. No, mate, he was the secret son of Queen Elizabeth I. And if you squint at the right clues, he bloody well tells you himself. A Tudor scandal hidden in plain sight, the story goes like this: Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen, they called her, wink wink, weren't so untouched as the propaganda said. Around 1560 or 1561, young Elizabeth had herself a very private affair, most likely with Robert Dudley, her childhood sweetheart and lifelong favorite. Out pops a child, little Francis, hidden away under the care of Nicholas and Bacon, two of Lizzie's most trusted allies. Lady Anne Bacon was the daughter of Sir Anthony Cooke, tutor to Queen Elizabeth's half-brother before he became Edward VI. She was a woman of keen intellect with strong Puritan views, although at all times a member of the Church of England. She was well trained in Latin and Greek, and as the daughter of a royal tutor, she likely received the education he would have given a princess. She maintained the Queen's secret and acted the part of foster mother with tact and discretion. She was the head lady-in-waiting to Queen Elizabeth when Francis was born. And Bacon wrote of her role as ward, "It is not my meaning to treat him as a ward, such a word is far from my motherly feeling for him. I mean to do him good." Such a significant phrase reveals the real relationship of the parties. He was the ward of Lady and Sir Nicholas Bacon, not their son. Sir Nicholas purposely left the lad nothing so as to force the Queen's hand and to leave her without an excuse for providing for him and recognizing her own son. Nicholas Bacon was desperate for Elizabeth to acknowledge her son, and repeatedly asked her to, but she never did. Francis himself reached out to her in apologia: "I shall lose you, too. You have put me like one of those that the Frenchmen call enfants perdus, lost children. So have you put me into matters of envy without place or without strength." Bacon's own clues, Gesta Grayorum and the hidden trail. Now here's where it gets juicy. Bacon didn't leave it all to rumor. He planted clues in his writings, especially in the Gesta Grayorum, a mock court masque he helped write for Greys in around Christmas 1594 to 1595. In Gesta, a prince of purple is chosen, secretly of royal blood, passed over, hidden from his true heritage. There are multiple references to the exquisite agony Bacon felt about keeping his secret, the agony of having to hide his true identity. And, in case you didn't catch it, Bacon drops lines throughout that seem like coded messages about Elizabeth, his mother. He talked about being a prisoner in his own skin, not able to take the throne of England, not able to claim what was his by birthright. But Bacon, being the genius he was, left us plenty of clues. It's like he couldn't stop himself. A little jab here, a little hint there. He was the man who could not speak his mind, not just because of political reasons, but because of something much deeper, the pressure of royal blood running through his veins but never being able to claim it publicly. Sound familiar? Bacon basically drew a cheeky self-portrait, right under their powdered noses. Even in the Shakespeare plays he likely shaped, more on that later, there's a recurring obsession with lost princes, hidden heirs, noble blood concealed by fate. But even if he did not constantly hint at the secret, he was raised like a prince, so the secret was apparent to some. Why they shipped him to France at age 15, Bacon was packed off to the French court under Sir Amias Paulet, the English ambassador. Now, why would you send a nobody to the very heart of European diplomacy during the roaring 1570s? Because France was at the cutting edge. They were codifying their language, building a national identity through refined speech and literature. Elizabeth, smart lass she was, wanted Francis trained up in the very latest ways of nation-building, language first, then empire. They weren't prepping him for the Inns of Court, mate. They were prepping him for the bloody throne. Francis was a secret due to the blood-soaked trail of accidents. Now, a little side note about Tudor politics: if you had even a sniff of royal blood, you were a target. Over and over again, we see minor royals, legitimate or not, winding up dead in accidents or mysterious illnesses. From Edward VI's sudden death, to the downfall of Lady Jane Grey, to Elizabeth's own cousin Mary, Queen of Scots, anyone too close to a throne got the axe, one way or another. Is it any wonder that Bacon stayed quiet? That Elizabeth kept him hidden? That even after her death, he had to tread carefully? Bloody right, it is. A trail of breadcrumbs, right? Now let's have a chinwag about Bacon's essays. The bloke didn't just sit there writing about science and philosophy. Bacon's pen had a lot more weight to it. In his later works, there are moments where the man speaks directly about his secret life. In his essay on ambition, for example, he writes, "It is an eternal law, that the two most curious things that a man can hope for in life are power and knowledge, both of which, alas, I was never destined to claim." So next time you hear some crusty old Don waffle about Francis Bacon as a mere philosopher, you smile and nod, and know the truth. He was a royal child of destiny, trained from birth, cheated of his crown, and smart enough to leave a trail for us to follow. He was, in many ways, the king of the future of English culture, and maybe, just maybe, that was the agreement he and his secret mum, Elizabeth, came to. You won't sit on the throne, boy, but you will shape the future of our language, our nation, and the world. And shape it, he did. Bacon's influence went far beyond just writing or philosophy. The bloke was a visionary, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he handed us the keys to the kingdom of knowledge. But all that came at a price. Bacon knew it, we know it, and I'll bet Elizabeth knew it too. I reckon Bacon's life was one big riddle, and the more you dig into it, the more you'll start to see, his legacy is one of secrets, hidden truths, and a future he never got to claim. But hey, at least we've got his words, don't we? And when all's said and done, that might just be the biggest clue of all. Stay tuned, mate. Part 2. We dive into how he took the stage by storm, under a little name you might have heard of, Shakespeare. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, it is food to a young baby channel.